Nazis actually had a secret UFO program.
We know that the Nazis were working this electromagnetic fluctuation, objects that fly through electromagnetism. And they had already developed that technology.
How do you keep on working on such a project, such an expensive project, and make it super secret? Well, the only solution is NASA. NASA might be behind all these UFO sightings that we have, maybe behind the secret, manufacturing of those machines, and somehow it might be one of the main purpose of the existence of NASA. How can you cover such a program? You need a space program, a fake space program.
Hello everyone, hope you guys are doing fine today. I would like to start this video by giving a big shout out to movie director James Azure, actor Jerry Miller, Alona Crowder. They have recently purchased a map from my store and have included in their Netflix movie. You can also watch on Amazon Prime. Excellent movie, I just watched it. So there you see the map featured in a couple scenes in the movie. Thanks James, and thanks Jerry. So guys, seems like the Flat Earth map, it's always been under attack by shills. Here you see back in 2017 when I was called a Gleason Tard for defending the AE map. And this is Jake Gibson.
You can debunk the AE map.
Recently we had Mr. Jaron Campanella also attacking the Flat Earth map.
Guess who is immediately on my list as the prime suspect shill CIA agent?
Eric Dubé.
It's the who brought us the map. So of course he's backtracking now. It's the map that he gave everybody. Where did I first see the AE map? Atlantean Conspiracy. Okay? Where did everyone else feel like they got their flat earth information from? Eric Dubé.
So guys, what seems to be the problem is that these people do not understand what maps are for. Maps are not designed to display any celestial data. Maps are designed for landmasses, not to display celestial data. So we live on a polar projection, and it's impossible to navigate around the flat Earth without a polar coordinate system. Now, some people would say, oh, you can create a polar projection from any point on Earth. Yes, but at the same time, those polar projections do not work because we need to base a polar projection at the North Pole, where the magnetic pole is.
The compass makes a complete pass around the fixed point. It is determining your position and angle in combination with the sextant and square when drafting, aka cartography, and creating a map, all based on the stars and a single point in the center. That's why our system for navigating is called polar plane coordination. There is a fixed source in the center. Navigation is not possible whatsoever any other way.
So just picture this. We have the center pole, and no matter where we are around the center pole, our compasses will point to the magnetic north or center. We don't even need any continents draw on this projection. All we need is the 360 degrees around the polar projection. So you cannot really debunk the map unless, let's say, you decide to visit South America, you want to go to Rio de Janeiro and Buenos Aires. Getting there, you don't find those cities. Only then would the map be debunked. But if you travel to South America, you find the cities Rio de Janeiro and Buenos Aires, that means that the map is correct.
How can it be light here, but be dark right here?
So Jake, where on there is the sun? When you say light, is it twilight, astronomical twilight, or civil twilight, or just plain daytime? Do those places claim the sun is visible? Maybe I need to download another app? You see, Jake, if the sun is in the middle of Ushuaia and Tasmania, then what you show is correct, and I will explain that to you here shortly. But if, on the other hand, the sun is off to one end or another, then that would be odd and worthy of an investigation. But wait a minute there, Jake. You are attempting to debunk how light works, not the map. The shape of the plane is irrelevant to how the sun and moon operate. You see, Jake, when you have an area with a reference point on it, in this case the North Pole, and you lay a grid over that area, mark down on the grid the points of the land masses, you are left with a map that matches the area, in other words, reality. The sun, the moon, the stars can do whatever they want, and they have no bearing on the map. No pun intended. Bearings require the geographic North Pole in order to calculate a direction. because the Earth is a flat plane. By adjusting for declination variation, you can navigate anywhere on God's flat Earth. This cannot be done using the South Pole. It must be north. This proves that there is no South Pole. It does not matter where on Earth you are, north is always your point of reference. As far as the circling sun over the flat Earth, well, the whole field of astrology would be pointless and useless without a circling sun, because your birth sign, star sign, is assigned to you when you're born, because the sun is in that specific constellation. Let's say you are a Scorpio. That means when you were born, it was not possible to see Scorpio constellation at night because the sun was circling along with the star wheel. So to finish this video, I'm gonna play here what I have said back in 2017 to Jake Gibson, which is still valid today. Come across some videos about the AE map, and that's why I'm here today. I want to talk about the AE map. I want to defend this map. I want to defend the Gleason's map because this is the correct map of the flat Earth. What makes this map accurate are the flight paths. Well, Jake, in one of his videos, he said that the sun does not circle over the flat Earth. To explain this, we have to go back to a quote from 1904 by Carl A. Smith, who said, "Now, if we want to ascertain the shape of the floor of any large room, we get down to the floor itself and do not go about measuring the gas globes or spots on the ceiling. So it's with respect to the Earth. To determine its shape, we take observations of its surface. For whatever be the shape of the heavenly bodies, made only for lights, they cannot in any way affect the surface shape of the Earth. So we don't really know how the luminaries work. We can't assume that the shape of the Earth, the map may be wrong just because the luminaries do not work according to what we think they should do. We don't know how the luminaries work. I want to show another proof that the sun really circles over the flat Earth, and we will look at some of the eclipses that have happened in the past and some of them that will be happening in the future. It goes from Argentina, across the Atlantic Ocean, Congo, Red Sea. Then we have another one that starts in Mid-Africa, goes through the Red Sea, India, and South China. And the last one that goes over the Pacific Ocean, over Caroline Island. Now you throw all this info on the Gleason's map, and this is what we get. The same cities, same places, Argentina, Atlantic Ocean, Congo, Red Sea, India, South China, Hong Kong, Caroline Island. But you can see here clearly that it shows a circle on top of the Gleason's map, because this is the circuit of the sun and the moon. It's not a perfect circle like we thought it would be on top over the Tropic of Capricorn or over the equator or over the Tropic of Cancer. But it's still going in circles, and what we can see is that the sun performs its own circuit according to where whatever it's supposed to do. But we have evidence to believe this is the correct map. Okay, lots of evidences, ground evidences, surface. Not talking about the luminaries because we don't know how they work. Jake Gibson was debunked in 2017, and now he and Jaron Campanella gets debunked again. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in a couple of days. Take care. Alright, guys, how are you? We have our friend and brother back today. How are you doing today, brother?
Feeling great. Thank God,
We've been praying for you. For your recovery, okay? I hope you get back, back in 2019, 20, I was in really bad shape. I did recover, I'm feeling great right now.
Yeah, it happens.
All right, we will have a good show today, guys. Shout out to a lot of people here in the chat. YS, excited for tonight's live. I finally can make it live, creating a projections in Python right now for the project. Share with us, okay? Send me if you want. I can display here. My good friends from Brazil are in the house. Sétima Visão. Boa noite aí no Brasil. Germany. Matthew Hakim, South California is in the house. Joel Dalton. Yeah, so Brian Hamilton, Matthew Sinclair, lots of good people here. Dark Praxin, you are in the house. Lisa Napolitana, hello from Long Island. Beautiful place, Long Island. So nice having you here. We're going to have a good show. Flat Earth Patriot. All right, just a lot of good people here. Brandon Neal. Eliyahu 8, hi from Mississauga, Ontario, Canada is in the house. All right, lots of good people. Mike Smith is here also. So, guys, we're going to have a good show today. We're talking about Flat Earth is always good, always great. You know that, right, Sam? You know, makes you healthier. All right, so, guys, let me share a little bit things here that I have to share, and then we're going to go on, talk with Sam about Flat Earth today. Além Horizonte, also Brazilian Flat Earther, live in Boston. Shout out to you. Boa noite, my friend. So, guys, let me share this real quick here. First of all, shout out to movie maker James. Right here, good. Okay, James Azur and Jerry Miller, Alona Crowder. They have this movie on Netflix, also on Amazon Prime. I watched it this week. Mind and Distortion. When his romantic life is in jeopardy, an evil doctor will kill those who stand in his way by using a patient on an experimental sleeping pill. Directed by James Azur. And Jerry left a post here. I'm a big fan of your channel. I dropped you a line back about the Flat Earth movies. My son's movie, Mind and Distortion, is now available on Amazon Prime. Psychological thriller about MK Ultra. And several shots of your Flat Earth map, especially in the opening scene when I come into my office. I am in the movie. It's around an hour. If you get a chance to see it, I would love to get your feedback. Thanks for your work on the second one, the present time. Thanks, Jerry. Jerry, I love the movie. Very interesting because we have researched about MK Ultra in the past. We have watched, several videos. So here's the movie, guys. Mind and Distortion, available Roku, Fire TV, X Infinity, Apple TV, Cox, Rogers, Samsung, Amazon, a lot of platforms. And here is a take of the movie. Is the Gleason's map here in the back. Really nice an honor, to have, we've been talking about the A map. It's always under attack, always under attack, but we are here today to talk about that today. So also I want to shout out talking about the moon. Hi, Mongo K. So Eddie, I'd like your opinion on something. There may be more to the two invisible to the eye lunar nodes or dark matter bodies than we realize. The indicator mechanism actually shows the lunar nodes on its face. Rahu is marked on the device by the omega symbol. Ketu looks to be marked by an X symbol. Rahu Ketu in Indian astronomy represented the dragon head tail or north ascending node, south descending node. As we all know, the Antikythera mechanism is amazingly accurate and highly sophisticated. The ancient Greeks tracked the two dark body lunar nodes separately from the sun and moon for the reason. I'm starting to wonder if the lunar nodes are not only responsible for solar eclipses, but the moon phases as well. Perhaps the lunar nodes are very close to the moon and moving in the same direction and course as the moon, but at a slower rate than the moon. The moon eventually passes behind the lunar node completely, which gives us the new moon phase. The moon then reaches the other side of the node as it makes its exit from behind the lunar node and begins its journey to the full moon phase, where it's free from either lunar node, blocking its light for a few days. The moon then gets up to the second lunar node and begins the process again, since the sun is much faster and on a slightly different course than the moon, and its two nodes, solar eclipses last only a few minutes rather than a few days, like each of the phases of the moon. So I really liked this post, and I came up with this drawing here. What I start thinking it, perhaps these two, they orbit the moon, but not as a ball as we see, like two flat discs, and they give the phases. I really thought a lot about this, his explanation, and I am considered that this might be the case. I'm not making any positive, arguments. I'm just thinking about it, and he might be right. Maybe they go along with the moon, but they kind of orbit the moon, goes behind the moon faster, and then something like this. I don't know. Things to think about it. So let me get to this some real quick, and then we will get together. So guys, as you know, the AMAP has always been attacked, and by this guy here recently, by Jaron Campanella, okay? Jake made a video about me, calling me a glissantard, like some 8 years ago. But here I have a polar projection. This is what we need to navigate the flat Earth. This is a polar coordinate system. So we don't need any continents here. All we need is the 360 degrees, as I'm going to show, pointed to the North Pole. There's only one. Now, as I explained in the video, this is a polar coordinate projection. And that's all we need, all right? We don't need any continents here. All you have is your magnet's compass, point to north, and then you can navigate 360 degrees. And you can get the coordinates. For example, Tokyo is right here, 35 degrees north and 139 degrees east. That's where I am right now. That's where you have on a 360 degrees grid with the North Pole here, the center. I don't even need to draw any continents. New Delhi is right here, Perth is right here, Cape Town, Cape Town, 33 degrees south, 18 east is right here. You have 0 degrees, 15, 18 east, 33 degrees south. You got Perth, 31 degrees south, 115 east right here. You got 105, 110, 115 right here. And we have Rio, 22 south and 43 degrees west right here. I have both 360 degrees and 180 degrees east and west. So that's all we need. We don't need even the continents. So you have to understand that that's where we live. As somebody posted right here. Great video. Eddie attacks are always trying to presume the luminaries at their apparent position, yet flight routes, shipping routes, sailing sea cables show us the layout. The North Pole is our reference, not the sun. So the North Pole is our reference point. Starting from here, going in all directions, that's where we live. It doesn't matter how it ends here, if it's square, if it's triangle, if it's, but we have a 60 degrees south here, that it's the limit where we can get, and 60 degrees from all directions, so that's where we are right here. All right, so Sam, welcome to the show, brother. I hope you understood what I was trying to explain here with the polar coordinate system.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't understand totally everything, but it's interesting with the moon, those two circles that going around. That's a good idea. But
something to think about it, right? We're not saying that's how it is, but he has a point, because the Greeks call those nodes omega and I forgot the other name, alpha and omega, something like that. and they know there are some dark bodies out there. Even the Royal Astronomical Society of London published back in the 1700s, and the French astronomers also published that they have identified and some dark nodes, around which is non-luminary, and they are probably the ones causing, the lunar eclipse. And the way he came up, and said, well, that's something to think about it.
Well, there's one thing that's sure, that we don't know much. We don't know much today. If we had like the NASA's budget, like, I don't know how much, like 80 million a day or something, we would be able to cover all this very quickly. But we don't know. We don't know much today. We are not only we are being, like, attacked, like, kept from reaching the truth, but also we don't have the means to to go and check it
Exactly.
out. So it's tough. But
we have zero budget. Have you heard the Pentagon in the US? I think for the 7th year, they cannot locate like $3 trillion, something like that.
Yeah, this is common in democracies. Democracies are made for that, like just to steal money, public money, transform it into private money. They're experts in that. I won't even stop.
Yeah, man. And hello, Cautelo, New Zealand's in the house. I'm doing fine, brother. Still planning to visit New Zealand again. So yeah, man, we have zero budget. We cannot do anything. Like I myself, I work and I do a lot of work that I do. I take a lot of time making videos. I'm out of my own time. I don't make anything with this stuff. It's just because, as we go on and discover the truth, you want to discover more and more and more and share, like you and I, we are doing right now, despite, perhaps we have some religion differences or political. It doesn't matter because we are here to talk about flat Earth.
Of course. Actually, it does matter. And I tell you what, because, harmony cannot be obtained without everyone's differences. If we were like all the same, thinking the same, looking the same, there will be no harmony. But the harmony is made by our differences, because we are different. And then we find a pole that, attracts us. There's something in common that we have. Of course, we don't have the same beliefs, the same tastes, in food, the same, but we have things in common. And this is, in what we have to invest, to know what binds us together, and the truth, I believe, is the main thing that binds mankind together. I believe the truth is printed into everyone's DNA. Something that we know. Even now, people that don't agree with us, they know. All those people, they know that the Earth is flat. Come on, it's we know that they know. So, but then they have their reasons to fight it, because they have other priorities, other agenda than to promote the truth. But for me, the truth is the truth. You cannot fight it. You have to defend it, and promote it, and that's the only way to evolve towards knowledge, towards good, and that's the way it is. So thank God we have books of people through times that, like us, also wrote things and wanted to record things in order for these facts not to go to get lost. So we have books. We can check our books, and then we have common sense, and that's enough. That's enough already to identify what's true and what's not true. And that's what we're doing. Thank God. So
yes,
we can do something even greater. So somehow it's good. It's good that we are waking up, and and that the research for the truth brings all kinds of different people. Imagine, like, all kinds of people. You have, forget about religion. You have also races of people that are actually in a war. I know Palestinians also that we agree, we get close to them because they realize also that the Earth is flat, and this is a big lie. So besides all our differences, all what's going on, so this brings people together. So this is amazing. That flat Earth thing is amazing.
Yeah, All right, guys. So the Congress had a hearing, a couple of days
Yes.
ago, saying that there are aliens under the ocean, and you guys, you have to be this week. I'm gonna put out a lot of compilations. Your TikTok, a lot of people talking about. I just want to know what those scientists who have been pushing outer space all this year, that alien life, and now you have the Congress saying that aliens live under the water. I mean, all ocean life is alien, because we deep down there, they even say there are black holes now under the ocean, the same as in space. Have you heard about this stuff? What's your take?
Right. I heard about what's going on here, about that hearing, but that makes sense because this whole thing, about lying about the shape of the Earth and that there is no dome and that you can go, back and forth in space and into Mars and all that stuff. Somehow it serves the idea that aliens do exist. There is no God. Forget about God. Whatever God you believe in, it doesn't matter. There is aliens. There is technology. And through aliens and technology, we were born and we will keep on going and we will develop ourselves and we will defend ourselves. And this is the agenda. That means that, of course, that it's normal that they're starting to push this. And I suspect that they are going to be staging something, just the way they staged, the moon landing. They are going to be staging something with like, UFOs and, some kind of a, third, an encounter of the third type, type of events. They're going to do this. They are saying that in all their movies, like for decades, for years, they're talking about aliens invasions, alien contacts, and they're going to do this. It's close. It's like, they're doing it because there are UFOs that are like, made on Earth, not in space. We know that. We know that the NASA, check it out, was built by all those Nazis there, von Braun and all these Nazis, and they call them again rocket scientists. But the truth is that they were not rocket scientists only; they were UFO scientists.
Yes,
if you think about it, let's think together, right?
Yeah.
If you know or if you believe that the Nazis actually had a secret UFO program, and that they were working on a technology where you could have like an astronaut, like a plane that can fly like 10,000 miles an hour in a second and go in the water, whatever, that could do this. Can you imagine that would be like the most important, most powerful project ever, never to be abandoned.
Exactly.
So the thing is, how do you keep on working on such a project, such an expensive project, and make it super secret? Well, the only solution is NASA. Is to create a space agency that will, pump like billions and trillions of dollars to make you believe they make machines to go to space, while working on developing that project. That makes sense. Because nobody's going to just imagine that NASA is keeping on working on that secret Nazi program, of the UFO. So this is for me, of course, it's an idea, it's a theory, but it's been confirmed many times that NASA might be behind all these UFO sightings that we have, maybe behind the secret, manufacturing of those machines. And somehow it might be one of the main purpose of the existence of NASA, to keep on, working on that program, secretly. And how can you cover such a program? You need a space program, a fake space program, in order to keep on, doing this thing. Because if you have tomorrow like a fleet of UFOs, you control the world. It's a world domination. You have the most powerful army ever. It's a world domination. But maybe they thought about using this not only to dominate military the world, but also to use this in order to fight the idea of God and to make believe that there are no gods, there is no God, and that aliens are the God, that aliens come from space and blah, blah, and all this. So they are staging something. That's why it's so important for them to fight the idea of flat Earth, because flat Earth kills that project. The fact that you admit that there is a dome, it kills all the alien encounters. The possibility of having ever aliens coming to Earth, so, flying back and forth. So this is very important for them. And of course, now they're going to start to push this. And you can you can see that all the world leaders, like Putin in Russia, here we have Benjamin Netanyahu, Donald Trump, and all these guys, actually they all agree on that point that there is the possibility that aliens do exist. There is no dome, there is a space, and we can travel into space. They all agree on that. Why don't they have like secret services? Don't they know that the Earth is flat? Can they find that for themselves? They do have. Russians have the FSB.
They know.
Secret
They
service.
know.
If we find that out, they cannot find that out. But no, they're all making war. One against the other. But when it comes to that point, to talk about if there is a dome or if the Earth is flat, no, they all agree. That's the holy lie for them. You understand? That's the holy grail of lies. They're all united around that lie. And this is why, we have to be careful. I love Trump, everything he says, everything. How can you not love it? I'm 100% with him. It's all the reforms he can do and everything. I have no problem. But when he starts talking about having like a space force, because he says like this, like making the shape of the dome. So, when he has a guy like Elon Musk that says that he sends like jeeps on Mars, or I don't know. So this is when I detach myself from them. That I realize that they're all part of the same agenda. So maybe they're gonna do some reforms and do some good on the way, because there is a market for now. People are waking up in the world. A lot of people are waking up. So it creates a market. So they're feeding that market. So they're gonna do good things for the country and for the world, but without deviating from the main agenda, which is to make people believe that, there are aliens and there is no dome and all that. So we have to be careful. That's why flat Earth is very good. It's a very good filter. This is when you can see who is who. You understand? You can push them to see who is who. And we have to be careful. That's all, because the war that we're living against is a war against God, against the principle of God, against mankind. So we have to be careful.
Yeah, you said something really interesting there. Flat Earth is like a filter, you can see someone is really searching for the truth. I've seen people who criticize the government, but then defends NASA, when it comes to Flat Earth. Oh, no, NASA, I trust NASA, You can't. Man.
You understand? This is the ultimate test.
Yeah, and I really like what you said, man. I never thought about it. We know that the Nazis were working this electromagnetic fluctuation, objects that fly through electromagnetism. And they had already developed that technology. And they decided, all they had to do, they split half of the scientists went to the Soviet Union, another half to the US. They created these fake space, agencies that fed the people, the population, just science fiction, travel, moon bases, bases on the moon. That's all science fiction.
Of course.
While they were working the real thing,
Of course, it's like the real science. It's fiction, and the fiction is real science. It's like
yeah. That's all twisted, They feed us with this week. I'm watching a series, guys. It's about Canadian. Let me find here. I'll share with you real quick. I created a playlist. It's a Canadian. I forgot his channel's name. Let me just find here my computer. Just created this, the hidden hand behind UFOs. So let me share this real quick with you guys. Go to share the screen. So this guy here, Canadian Patriot Press, this channel right here. Not a lot of subscribers, but they have a couple of videos there. And I created a playlist. I'm going to share this playlist here for you. Now, number one, if you want to see the since I'm in Japan, get a lot of ads here from Japan, okay? So, episode 1, Lifting the Esoteric Veil, talks a lot about the connection of the recent UFO agenda and false gods, of the past. Fallen angels, all that stuff. But the episode I really like is this number 2 here. It's the foundation, how H.G. Wells' War on the Words and the Dawn of the New Age, how these people influenced, the whole, the last 100 years, 150 years. Even Darwin was inspired by these guys, the sci-fi people. So I'm going to go ahead and share this with you guys if you want to watch it. It's worth watching, about 51 minutes. I haven't watched it, episode 3 yet. I plan to watch it this week. They don't put out a lot of episodes at once. It takes like 6 months for them to upload an episode, so there are only 3. Okay, so it's worth watching. So I'm going to go ahead and paste this. So this whole thing, man, about UFOs, all based on science fiction, travel to other planets and bases on the moon and Mars and all that stuff, man. It's all science fiction. Exactly. So Canadian, I don't know, alien agenda, something like that. I just paste the link there, guys, if you want to watch. I liked it. I watched it, number 2 episode. I haven't watched number 1 or 3. I went straight to number 2. And I also have another video I have in my channel, I uploaded 4 years ago. Man, there is a whole story of the science fiction since the 1600s. What we see. I'm going to play the video. Very interesting. I don't know if you have watched this one here yet, Sam, but listen to this guy. He was invited to write a book about the sci-fi people. So watch this guy here, real quick.
Next, William Burroughs, author of This New Ocean, The Story of the First Space Age. It's a book on the history of space exploration, from ancient myths to German V-2 rockets.
Mr. Burroughs is a professor of journalism at New York University and the founder and director of its graduate science and environmental reporting program. Would you please welcome William Burroughs?
Thank you, Judy, and thank everybody for being here. One of the things that runs through the entire history of the space age and before the space age is the direct relation between science and science fiction. You're not at this too long when you don't come to understand that it's the science fiction people, the SF people, as one of my friends calls them, who laid the blueprint for the people who actually built the rockets and planned out the programs. And I did a fair amount of thinking about that throughout the entire process. Konstantin Tsiolkovsky, who was the great Russian rocketeer and the father of rocketry, and who we never heard about during the Cold War for reasons that will not mystify you. Tsiolkovsky and Hermann Oberth, the German, the father of rocketry there, and our own Robert Goddard, all read Jules Verne. They all read From the Earth to the Moon, and they all had, if you'll pardon the expression, had their fires lit by that wonderful voyage. They all read H.G. Wells, The War of the Worlds, and so on. These people were energized and captivated by science fiction. I started the book off, in fact, going back to Daedalus, because I had to come to grips with why exactly do we do this. There are cynical answers, and they're relevant. One is that corporations in aerospace want to make a lot of money. Another is a lot of generals on both sides wanted to get the high ground for a supposed advantage, whatever that meant, and we're still not sure we know. But beneath that, there were the dreamers, there were the sci-fi people, there were the people who wanted to go for what reason? This is what I had to try to come to grips with, and when I went back to Daedalus, when I went back to Greek mythology, it occurred to me that one of the reasons is transcendence. I came to realize in the course of researching the book that what I was dealing with was not in reality, was not hard-nosed businessmen who were trying to keep their stocks up and generals who were trying to one-up the enemy. What I was dealing with was members of a religion. And that's exactly what this undertaking is. What else to call people, I'm talking about serious engineers who design colonies on Mars and interstellar missions that they know they will never live to see? What else to call them but members of a religion as people in the Middle Ages started to build cathedrals they knew they would never see finished? And what is the trait that has propelled this all of these years? That's what I got into, and the rest of it is the top of the proverbial iceberg.
All right, did you see that, man?
So yeah, all this makes me think. I tell you, you know, when we talk about evil, talk about what's bad. Okay, what is evil? What is the essence of evil? I tell you what I believe I understood by learning the Torah. Evil doesn't exist in itself. I tell you, it takes form into the distance you put between you and God. The father man is separating himself from God. The bigger the distance between him and God, the bigger the evil takes form. That means that the evil is the separation. It is born within the separation between God and man. The farther the man is going to go away from God, and the greater the evil is going to be. So now, if you know that one of the names of God in the Torah is truth, it is said in Judaism that God is truth. It's one of His names. So of course, lie is what is at the opposite of God. So the bigger the lie, the more there are lies, and the more you create a distance between God and mankind, and the more evil you create. That means that by making people believing lies, the principle of lie is to create evil and to separate mankind and to separate the creation from its God. That's the point. So lying is not just like to make money or for whatever agenda. It's like that guy says, it's a religion. It's a religion of evil. Lying is a religion of evil. Is to create evil, to make sure that God and man will be separated. Won't have will have less and less connection, and then will start dying. You only can start dying when you close to God. You don't die; you live forever. But when you go away from Him, so you start dying. So lie, it's a way, it's a path to death, and it's a path to evil. It's very important for them to maintain lies on everything. Just lie about everything. You understand? Just maintain that evil, and make sure that we can kill God like this, like we can chase God's presence from among us. This is an ideology. This is powerful ideology.
Exactly. He wants a world with their own gods, create their own gods and forget about the creator.
Of course.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing. So there was this guy, William Burroughs. I think that was in the 80s. He was invited to write a book. He was invited by the White House, and he spent several months with the astronauts and NASA, in interviewing them. And that's his conclusion, that he was dealing with people who really are into science fiction, and they have all this money, you get all these billions and trillions.
Which is also virtual. Also, the money is virtual. It's like it's crazy. It's like
give all this money to these guys, and they built rockets, and it's transcendental. That's what he says, because you build rocks to go to places that only exist in your mind, and that's what they do. They build those rockets. And I don't know if you spent years in the US as well. I had the chance of visiting NASA. Back then, I believed in space, all that stuff. So I went to Huntsville. They have a NASA Space Center there. That is actually where Werner von Braun was based. That's where he created all his rockets or whatever. And I went there 2 times, and I believed all that stuff. I saw the rocket, man. When you go there to visit outside, they have those big rocks. Wow. I took a picture there with my wife, and my daughter was a baby. And all of 3 of us, we fit inside one of the booster, and they had like several boosters around the rocket. Anyway, a lot of money spent to go nowhere because those rockets don't go to space.
You said one time in one of the videos, they invest in the package. When because the rocket is real, you can see it, you can touch it.
Yeah.
So they invest into the package, but there is nothing in the package. If you want to sell like a fake diamond, you put a piece of glass into like a $10 million package. You're never gonna believe it's a piece of glass.
Like they say when North Korea, those countries, when they do those parades, military parades with those big rockets, they claim that it's empty, it's just a shell.
Yeah.
It might be, it might be.
But the thing is that's important. We are growing up, we are just kids growing up, like, we are like just teenagers, trying to, realizing things, and but when you start growing up, you start realizing that all we've been believing in is fake. It's like it's engineered. It's like it's engineered lies. Then you have another problem. It's like why, like how come they invest so much to lie? And of course it has to be like they have to have an ideology behind this. It cannot be like just for money or for like whatever. They have to have like kind of religion, kind of belief, these people, to hold them together, and they do. And well, in the Torah we can understand a little bit what their twisted beliefs are. But this is an old war, it's nothing new. It's an old war. It's an old war, very ancient war that started a long time ago, and that is about to finish soon by the awakening of the world. And this is great. We're living some great times. I don't know if people realize, but we're living some very, very special times.
I want to ask you 2 things. It's not. I looked at this stuff a while ago. Not recently. It's been a month, several months actually ago. Because sometimes I try to understand the origin of evil, and we hear stories about those children or people living underground or all that stuff. And somebody posted a comment here. I think that it's argument for somewhere else. Mike Rigria, Satan hates both of us regardless of how we believe in God. People often forget that. So it's like it doesn't matter if you're Jewish or Christian. Satan hates both, He hates God's creation. You know what I mean? My point is like, what does I don't know. This is Dave the Ike stuff. I don't listen to Dave the Ike that much, but I've heard him talking about this what they call those lizard people. Is there any foundation there? What's your take on that stuff?
I believe there's a lot of allegories about everything that is vampires, dragons, lizard people, and all that. Well, maybe it comes from the idea that there was a snake in the garden, but mysticism is very important to keep secrets alive through times. Again, if I had to explain nuclear physics to like a 6 years old boy, I could not use like formulas because you don't understand nothing. So I can I can travesty those formulas into like a story, like about a king and a queen and surrounded with mysticism. So the Torah, the Bible, and there's a lot of mysticism in order to again to keep the story alive, the story great through times. But then there comes a time when you have to understand these stories, and you have to demystify all this, and take a look at the story with adults' eyes. And this is hard to do because mysticism is nice, it's great. You like fantasy, to live in a world, with dragons and with things and with demons and more angels and whatever. But but the thing is that those books I'm talking about, for me, the Torah, have been written for us to wake up, to grow up, not to be stuck into some kind of imaginary world that doesn't want to help us to with nothing. That means that we have to understand these things, demystify them, and go down to the bottom line and understand our world, understand who are those people that are lying to us, who are these what is our world, understand our world, understand who we are. So we have to demystify. I don't believe in lizard people because God doesn't make monsters. He make human beings, and human beings make monsters. But God never created monsters, never created a world of dinosaurs where there's only like monsters killing each other and with no purpose. You understand? Everything that God makes is perfect, and there is a purpose to it. There is intelligence, there is goodness, there is wisdom, there is everything. This so we have to understand all this. I don't like vampires, all that thing. I don't believe into all this, even though there are people that can imitate that kind of life.
Yes.
But it's not. We talk about demons also in the Torah and also in Judaism. And also, to my mind, it's like wrapped up in mysticism. I translate you demons in the Torah. A demon is like a person without a face, without a shape, without a form. That's not visible to the human eye. So you can translate that by talking about all these people that do not exist. They don't have any flag. They don't have any country. They don't have any names. But they control the United Nations Security Council. They control the science. They control the government. But they don't exist. Those are what we call demons in the Torah. It is said that Solomon, the King Solomon, had control over the demons, and he used to take them and talk to them. There is stories about that. But what are demons? Demons again is people like living underground, into sects, into secret brotherhoods, into secret groups of people and undergroups, and these are called the demons. The living people, the human beings, but that live in secret, without form, without a name. A human being has a name, has a house, has a reputation, is known. But these people are not known. They have no names. They just like live in the dark. So it is. They are being described as demons in the Torah, in the language of the Torah. So all this is, when you think about it, if there was really demons the way we believe, for me, what would that help me? In what would that help me? To know that there is like a world with another dimension with demons and everything. Maybe there is. I don't say no, but this is an information that I don't need for now. I don't need that information. I don't need that knowledge. in order for me to fight the problems that I have in my reality. You understand? That can always lead me astray, lead me like, think about different things. In Judaism, there's a lot of people also learning what they call Kabbalah. So they're like drunken people that drink. They're like, totally drunk of knowledge, and but they don't do nothing. They don't help that generation. They don't help to understand nothing. They don't understand much, but they like it. They love it. They're just like, whoa, they're drinking. So this is why I don't like information or knowledge that is sterile. That doesn't lead you nowhere. There are lots of knowledge, true things to learn, but that will lead you nowhere when you learn them, in real time, because you don't need that information at the present time. You will need it maybe later, but not now. So I just like to focus on what I need to understand now to fight and my problems today, and to help my generation with its problems, today. That's what's important. I don't want to become like an encyclopedia of knowledge. This is by the way I see things. We don't have much time, we don't live that much.
Yeah. So I got a question for you, and then we're gonna a quick break. We're gonna go for a break. But Joyce B, Sam, she's asking you: is Samuel referencing the written Torah or the oral Torah? Jewish rabbis teach from both Torahs.
So, first of all, I an experience. I go according what is the most important, the most solid, is the written Torah. There is the Tanakh, which was written by prophets. Prophets are people that are directly being given the order to write by God directly. While the rabbis, they're doing like what we are doing. They are investigating, and they understand things from within things, and they make sure that the Jewish people is going to be able to live through exile without assimilating itself. And this is what they've done, with success. So again, the oral Torah it's a bunch of laws made for the Jewish people, not for the others, just for them, in order for them to be like in an ark, through exile, and to come back to their lands. And it is said that at the time of the Messiah, all those laws will vanish. There will be only a few laws that stay, like the Purim holiday, and that's it. Even Sukkot and most of the laws that are from the written Torah will not be applied. Won't be used. So that means that the religion is just like a way for the Jewish people to survive in exile. That's all it is. That's what and it is important, because through the oral Torah you have also a lot of information about the written Torah that you can understand. But mostly, if you want to understand the things, it's like in the written Torah is much more precise, much more, it's much higher, much powerful than the written Torah.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, 5 minutes, listen to a song, then I'll come back to Mark's question, and YS also, she has another question to Sam. But we're going to go for a short break right now, and we should be back in about 5 minutes. All right, so let me choose a song here for us. That's going to be this one right here.
Don't believe the papers, don't believe the news, 'cause all that they serve you are opinionated views. Don't switch on my TV, 'cause all they do is lie. And I don't need no programming telling me what to buy. But I believe the truth will set you free. I believe the truth will set you free. Don't believe in aliens, don't believe the news, the reasons why they're far. Don't believe celebrities pretending to be what they ain't. Make poverty history, they say, bold in the same. But I believe, I believe the truth will set you free. I believe the truth will set you free. I believe the truth will set you free. Don't believe the justice system will give you what you deserve. It's all run by bad judges and Lucifer they serve. Don't believe banks are honest, it fleets you to the bone. When there's nothing left to get, they'll even take you home. But I believe the truth will set you free. 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 Don't believe the news, 'cause all that they serve you are opinionated views. I don't switch on my TV, 'cause all they do is lie. I don't need no programming telling me what to buy. But I believe the truth will set you free. I believe the truth will set you free. I believe the truth will set you free. I believe the truth will set you, the truth will set you free. I believe 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 the truth will set you free.
A story you may have seen online. It claims a new startup plans to sell sunlight after dark, and it's true. Reflect Orbital is building space mirrors to reflect sunlight onto solar panels at night. The goal is to maximize the productivity of solar farms. But according to its website, you can also book a spot of light for yourself. The company's first satellite is still being developed, but it says that it had a successful experiment using a hot air balloon with a large mirror. It plans to start delivering sunlight after dark in the fourth quarter of next year. It will be available for only 4 minutes and cover a diameter of about 3 miles.
All right, guys, that's the sun simulator right there. One of them, and that's private, right? That's from a private company. If private companies are doing that, imagine what the government has been doing, for all these years. Russians have done that back in the 90s, 80s and 90s. Hi, guys, support the channel. Get a map here, just like in the movie now, right here in the back here in the movie. So get at least a map today. Help the channel little bit, and make your living room beautiful. Start up a conversation with your friends. Gonna paste this here on the chat, and we're gonna move on to the final segment of the show today. So I'm not really familiar with that word, Sam. Couldn't even because my eyesight's really bad. Konoite, I can't even read that.
What is it, like Karai?
I don't know. She said something like.
I just answered that in the chat. I don't know if it appears.
Yeah, I saw it. I'm not familiar with the word.
Karaite is it's a Jewish sect of people that said that they don't want to learn nothing about the oral Torah, just the written Torah. So whatever is written in the Torah, they apply it and they take it as like plain commandment. But it doesn't really work. In the Torah, you have also to adapt things. There are things that are written into a very high language, so you need to interpret it in order to again to live a life, a Jewish life, because again, Judaism is not like a religion; it's like more of a way of life. It's like presenting everything you do, everything wherever you go. You have laws, you have like thousands, hundreds of laws, and it's like it's more like a way of life. To on one side keep secrets that we're gonna need to understand at the end, but also in order to keep also the people, Jewish people, of being to keep him alive, because in the beginning there was like 70 nations, pure nations that God created, but they're all mixed up today. They all disappeared. We don't know who they are, don't know where they are. They're all mixed up. People are just like mixed up, so we don't know where they are. So when you have a people that do not assimilate and keeps himself the way it should be, so that's important also for the outcome of these things. So it's very important for the Jewish people not to assimilate, even though today there is a lot of mixing, but that's mostly the point the way I understood it. But again, for me, the most important thing to understand is the written Torah, the one that was given by God Himself, not the one that was interpreted by great scholars, but men. Because the oral Torah is not written by prophets. It's written by wise people, like scholars. That means by their own head, their own reasoning, which is good also. It gives you like insights about a lot of things, but it's a lesser, degree. It's the main thing is a written Torah, of course. And in
Hi, Joyce. I hope Sam has answered your question. Mark, I lost yours here. You asked me about Project Being. I believe my interpretation is that whatever they will display in the sky, it's going to be Jesus Christ for Christians, it's going to be Buddha for the Buddhists, it's going to be, I don't know who for other religions, for the Indians. I think they're going to deceive people, displaying something in the sky, and to unite all religions. I think that's what they're going to do.
Well, just the fact to propose this is like playing God. They're just saying we can control the nature, we can control your creation, we can do whatever we want, we can bring the sun in the night, and we can do whatever we want. And actually, it's the same, speech than the snake had. You will be like gods. You will know what's good and bad. You will be like gods. This is the main message. You like gods. You can do everything that even better than what God did. That's the point. It probably won't work. That sun in the night is like it's going to be full of problems, technological problems, and
yeah.
But the main thing is that we can do it. Mankind. Man is the manpower. We can do it. We don't need God. You understand that? Doesn't matter if it works or it doesn't work. They sell that. If they don't sell it, they just go out of business. But the message is passed. We can do it. That's the main message.
I believe it is. Yeah, that's right. Imitating God's creation.
Yes, exactly.
Imitating God's creation.
Of course.
All right. So the discussion here is something else. Yeah, I got here. Mike, I found your comment. So that's what we were talking. They're gonna display something up there, you know. That's why I wanted to play this short advertisement about the sun. That soon the private agencies will provide you sunlight 24 hours a day wherever you are. When the sun, on the daytime and night here, you order, they will shine the sunlight here at night. You know, that's pretty crazy. I don't know.
To,
Play,
to, to
man
answer
playing God.
to answer to Mark, yes, of course it is. Just let's think, you and I. Okay, if you were in their position, okay, you want to kill the idea of God, you want to kill the idea of Jesus Christ, of Buddha, and with kill the idea of religion because you want to create a new religion. So how are you going to do? How can you do? Just like to put a picture in the skies? I don't think it's going to be enough. But have an alien, encounter where you're going to have out of these, ships there, people that tell you, okay, we wrote the Bible, we wrote the New Testament, we knew Jesus, we did, this, or to have a guy that, looks like Jesus coming out of this. We don't know. That's the that's the ultimate scam.
Yeah,
That
the
would be,
scam.
that for me there would be no better solution than that in order to fool people. And you have Jesus saying, okay, just this is what we did, this is what I did, whatever, and that in order to kill a religion and maybe have Jesus for the Christians come and say, okay, now just forget about everything I said, everything is a lie, the Vatican just change everything, just forget about everything and just go that direction now, go that way, and let's unite everybody. So of course this is logic. This is what they should do if they wanted to fool people, deceive people, and they will be able to, because they've been conditioning minds for like so long now with all their movies and all that, that Hollywood machine there, so that a lot of people believe that there are aliens and they can travel to Mars, and they believe this. They believe in Jesus. They believe also in this. So now they're going to melt the two together, and it's going to create an implosion, a confusion, where people are going to say, well, now we know that aliens exist because here it is. And of course, you have to be ready for it. It's going to be very hard times if they manage to reach this, make that scam there. But this is what they prepare. That's 100%. Somehow, whatever.
Right. Now, this morning I was watching this lady. She was talking to Chat GPT, about virtual reality that can actually materialize. Some you can touch and feel. And ChatGPT said, yes, it's in the works, and soon they're going to have some sort of virtual reality where it's touchable. You're going to be able to touch that stuff and feel it. So if you guys know ChatGPT, you can ask this question. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, of course, they're going to have and I tell you where it comes from. They're going to have even I believe, the possibility of people tasting food. People, having also having sex. That's possible also. So everything is possible. And you have to know something, that all this is inspired from the Torah, and I tell you why. In the desert, the Jewish people they used to have I'd say the people of Israel, much more correct. They used to have a special food that came from from the sky. They used to go in the ground. It's called man or manna. I don't know how you call it in English. And it is known in Judaism that when they used to eat this, they used to imagine whatever they wanted, and that they had the taste of whatever they imagined. That if you like hamburgers, so it tastes like hamburgers. If you like chicken, or you like ice cream, whatever, it tasted exactly the way you imagine that of what you liked. So this is also possible that they take this from the Torah and they try to recreate this, that you can taste food that doesn't exist. You can touch somebody that doesn't exist.
Yes.
And lock you into lies totally. It's like you're in a capsule of lies and you're dead. It's a form of death. Lie is a form of death. It's terrible. terrible.
Yeah. I think also, guys, that's my opinion, and I have had this opinion a long time ago. Whenever they do this fake alien invasion, whatever, they already have some bombs planted in some buildings, some cities. They're just gonna detonate those stuff and claim the aliens are doing that stuff. They're just gonna, I don't know, Sam, your take on that, but I like there is a documentary on 9/11 where they show the explosions raw, without the airplanes,
Yeah, of course, we know that. Yeah.
It's gonna be the same thing, like they're gonna explain and then add the effects, special effects later, the spaceships, people will believe, that's what's gonna happen.
They can do so much. And I tell you something also. Okay, let's go. Let's say they're going to to stage that whole thing. Now, what's going to come out of the starships? It cannot come out like regular human beings. Now we know that there are programs where they want to merge men and animals called chimeras. I think something like this. I know there are genetics. The research on genetics when they can modify the human body or something.
Yes.
And we also know that there are like millions and millions of children disappearing every year from the face of the earth. So where are all these people going? Is it like for sex, for organ trafficking, or more? Maybe they can have like a guy coming out with like 3 eyes or something, but it's actually a man that has been worked on and modified genetically. So people are going to see that because, of course, those are aliens. That cannot be a human being, with like 4 hands or something. But actually, you don't know what they can do with genetics. There's no limit to what they can do, But,
Sam, I just saw this yesterday, man. They mixed the chicken and flamingos. Man, the birds, they're small, but the feet, man, is huge. It's disproportional. And it's not only one. It's not only one. A whole bunch of them. They mix the chicken and the flamingos, man.
This is crime.
Crazy.
So if they can do this with animals, they can do it with men too.
Oh yeah, they've been doing. It's probably under and those military bases under the earth.
So you see that twisted mind, that criminal mind is like the utmost criminal mind to destroy like this, to corrupt like this the creation. What is perfect, they're gonna make it like they're gonna create monsters. Those are like hardcore criminals.
Criminals. They're criminals.
Big time.
Big time criminals. Hi, Mike. Yes, I'm gonna see if Chris Sparks might be coming back here someday soon. We talk about it. Me personally, I know Sam. He keeps the Sabbath. He's Jewish. I don't keep the Sabbath. I don't keep the Sunday. I work every day. That's my situation. And people say, well, you need to trust the Lord. I know. I mean, when I get the most clients, it's on the weekend. In Japan, people here work a lot. The culture in Japan is that people here have to work a lot. They work overtime, lots of hours. So when they have the weekend off, that's when I work. This is where, like, people who do nails, do hair, they work a lot on weekends because that's when people have breaks, and that's when I have students, a lot of students, they want to have class Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, Saturday morning, because that's when they have time. They don't have time. We live in a society where it's very difficult for people to, it's designed for everybody, especially in Japan, where they don't pay a lot of money. They used to. Now your salary don't go far, so you have to work 12 hours a day. And then sometimes Saturday, and then you only have Sunday, and you want to improve yourself. It's good that you have an English school that opens on Sundays or Saturdays, where you can go, where you can take classes, So that's my position here in Japan. So I don't even get much into, which day to, because, that's what I have to do here in Japan, survive.
Exactly, and you don't have to keep Shabbat. I tell you what, because most people forget, but all these commandments to keep Shabbat were given to the people of Israel only. And it is specified many times that the nations don't have to observe this. Like, for example, we don't eat like pork like the Muslims, but you can. Pork is kosher for you guys. It's snake is kosher for you. God tells you you can eat pork. There's no problem. You can eat snake. You can eat cockroaches. There's no problem. You have no problem. God agrees with that. Only for the Jewish people says no, you cannot eat this because you got a special task that this will affect you. But if not, it's allowed. You don't have to keep Shabbat. There's no order for the nations to keep Shabbat. It is only for the Jewish people. Actually, it is even bad for the Torah to see a non-Jew keeping Shabbat because it's not his role. It's not made for that. He has another role. The nations have a different role than the Jews, and it is bad for the Jews also to play the nations' roles. This is what we have to understand. So there's no problem, not to keep Shabbat for the nations or even for the ones that don't believe in the Torah. If you don't believe in the Torah, you can do whatever you want. You have no obligation to do this. But the thing is that what I realized was good for me when I keep Shabbat, it gives me like a notion of a break. It's important you have a break. You're not in 24/7 into a jail. You just go out, and you can take time for yourself. You can think. You can go out from materialism and from everyday's problems and talk about spirituality. So there is something good about Shabbat, for us. And I will advise everybody to just take a day in the week or something. Just take a break, break away from everything you do, and just think about different things because this is healthy for the mind. But besides this, there's no obligation. You can do whatever. It is not against God not to keep Shabbat. Just for the people of Israel, which they have a contract. But that's it. Then everybody's is free. But at the time, the time we're living, believe me, the most important, the priority is again what we are doing, seeking for the truth, fighting for the truth, trying to promote it, because this is way above religion, Shabbat, and whatever. It's the most important thing in that generation where nobody cares, where we are being told that living a lie is the best way to live your life. So it's most important thing is to learn and to want to understand, and this is most kosher thing you can do.
All right. Wow, great discussion today. I wanna before we finish today, I wanna highlight another comment. I believe she is probably Brazilian or American, I don't know, but she wrote her channel is both English and Portuguese, Tree of Eternal Life, Árvore da Vida, Leviticus. You shall have the same law for the stranger and for one from your own country. So I believe that's my opinion. That's not Sam's opinion. It's my opinion. That's for the people who live in Israel. So if you live in that country, you need to follow the laws of that country. Just like I'm here in Japan, I kind of follow the laws of this country. If I break the laws, they shall kick me out. So I think the law that she's quoting here in Leviticus, it's for the people, the foreigners who lived in Israel. Correct? Can you correct me if I'm wrong, Sam?
Well, I'm just looking at the verse in Hebrew, but what it says here actually is more like you should in the justice system, in your judgment, you should judge a stranger just like the Jew, like the same. There's no like a difference, when you judge somebody or when you have a situation, you have the same law for the stranger, and from you is the same thing. You cannot just judge him differently because he's a stranger. No, it's exactly the same. You and the stranger are the same, in front of the law, in front of the justice. You should not have like two different justice system. This is more like what it says. But according to what you said, it is true also that in Judaism, we say you have to respect the laws of the country you live in. Country you eat from, you have to respect the laws. Unless those laws are, strongly going against the justice. Like in Nazi Germany, there were laws also. You had to denounce Jews in order to deport them. So those laws, you don't respect them, of course. Or if there are laws that tell you just to practice incest or something, like in Sodom, you don't do them. Of course, there's logic behind this. But according to Leviticus 24:22, it's about the justice system, the judgment system. You cannot judge someone differently because he's a stranger. It doesn't belong to you people. You will judge it exactly the way you judge anybody. So there's only one justice, for all, and justice for all.
All right. Thanks, Tree of Eternal Life, for your comment. I hope we have, answered. Guys, I think we had a great show today, Sam. We pray that you recover, man. I don't know if you have to go through surgery or not. We don't know. You wait and see.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy you were able to be here today. Thanks so much. I always enjoy talking to you, we always get a lot of good things when we talk. Guys, thank you, every one of you who are here today. Claire, you joined us from Australia a little bit late, but you can go back and watch the beginning of the show. Thanks, Matthew. Hakim will be here with me next week. We're going to talk about those eclipses in the North Pole when the sun is supposed to be at the Capricorn, Tropic of Capricorn. So a lot of stuff planned for the show next week as well. Sam, please, I want you to go ahead and say your last words for the public who were here today.
Well, always the same. Just you know me now. What I'm saying is that now we know that the Earth is flat. We know it. We know we know it very well. So now I'm mostly focused on what's next. What do we do? How do we take back our world? How do we fight back those people? And how we just go on to aggressive mode more and more, like in offensive mode, more than just defensive. So this is what I'm working on. We are almost done. I told you that we are doing something here in Israel. We're creating a big internet site. We have a big project, very ambitious, but see what happens. And it's almost done. There's a few technical issues, but I'm just saying that we should concentrate. We should just focus on what's next. What do we do now with all that knowledge? How do we use it? And that's for me my main preoccupation now.
All right, so, Sam, I'm looking forward to having you back here. All right. So guys, that's it. I'm gonna close with the song. When the song starts playing, Sam, I'm gonna kick both of us out of the show. So thanks, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and play David J. Carroll. We'll be back next week. Matthew Hakim will be here. Gonna be talking about those eclipses again. And Flat Earth. This channel is about Flat Earth. We'll always be talking about Flat Earth. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Love you all. Take care. See you next time. All right.
Wonderful, magical, celestial light, fantastical, mystical, wonderful sight. Belgian Swiss physicist Auguste Piccard, 1931, first to reach for the stars, was the first to explore the air view stratosphereus, a scientist curious to see what was there. An aluminium black ball on the helium balloon, with photos and instruments, sailed towards the moon, rose in just half an hour, 52,000 feet, 10 miles of depth temperature, up a dead drop in heat and cold, but disproving gravity. Wonderful, mystical, beautiful sight, flat line separation of black from blue light, a world run by deceivers, false make-believers, hiding in shadows, stealing our light. was their eternal testimony? What did they report back to humanity? Said it seemed like a flat disk far as eyes can see, with an upturned edge fading into infinity. A mystical, ethereal, celestial sight, a divine creation, a clockwork of life, designed hid by deceivers and false make-believers, still cowering in shadows, still fearing our light. Here we go, higher than Everest, higher than airplanes, above zero fuels, higher than air. A level horizon, 360 around us, no motion beneath us, no spinning, no stars on the firmament, turn them all around us to forever, so time as geometrically there. You'll never beat us, you'll never defeat us, forever beneath us, we see through you like air. Mystics of illuminant light, fantastical, magical, bright, we see through you like air. Magical angels of light, beautiful, wonderful, celestial light. The first to see truth when they reach for the stars, explorers and physicists, Kipper and Picard. Never you'll defeat us, forever beneath us, we see through you like air.